I don't know when it happened exactly, but at some point, everyone started to feel like a stranger. People I used to talk to every day, now we exchange in the occasional, how have you been? Like we're trying to fill a silence neither of us want to admit is there. It's not that anything bad happened, no big fights, no betrayals, just distance, quiet. Like watching a friend walk into fog, you can still kind of see them, but they're not really there anymore. And maybe I'm the one who drifted. Maybe I stopped trying to keep up. Maybe I wanted to see who'd notice if I didn't text back. Spoiler, not many did. The weird thing is, I don't even miss the conversations. I just miss what they meant. The comfort in knowing somebody knew me, or at least the version of me I was back then. But the older I get, the harder it is to tell who actually knows me, or if anyone ever really did. Sometimes I wonder if this is just growing up, not in the paying bills and doing taxes kind of way, but in the quiet realization that connection isn't as easy as it used to be. Like, the older we get, the more armor we wear, and the harder it is to see each other underneath all of it. And maybe we've all become strangers to each other because we're still trying to recognize ourselves. I think a part of me is always searching for the version of life where none of this drifted apart, where I still text people just to say what's up, where phone calls aren't scheduled like meetings and silence isn't mistaken for distance. I don't know if that version ever existed or if it only feels real in hindsight, a memory warped by how badly I wanted it to mean something. And sometimes I'd catch myself walking through life like I'm moving through a museum of old conversations. Remember this moment? Remember how we used to be? People don't feel like people anymore. They feel like echoes, like an idea of somebody I used to know. It's weird. You spend years building this web of people, from friends from school, people from work, somebody you used to love, someone who made you laugh once. And slowly, quietly, the threads loosen. Not in a dramatic way, no falling out, no big fights, just life pulling everybody in different directions. A new job, a different city, someone falling in love, and suddenly you're not part of their everyday anymore. Not even on purpose, just by default. And you start to wonder, was it always this fragile? Was it always one unread message from silence? It messes with your sense of self too, because so much of who you are is mirrored back to you in the people who know you best. When those mirrors crack or disappear, you're left trying to recognize yourself in reflections that aren't really there anymore. And maybe that's the hardest part, not the distance, not the silence, but the way it makes you feel like a stranger even in your own life. Like you've wandered too far off the map and you're just walking through fog, hoping someone familiar is still out there, hoping you're still out there. So you start reaching back, scrolling through old photos, replaying memories like they're movies you half remember. You tell yourself you're just reminiscing, but really, you're looking for proof that it all happened, that the closeness, the laughter, the late night talks, that they were real, that you were real. And maybe that's why nostalgia hits so hard. It's not just missing people, it's missing the version of yourself that existed with them. Because now you're quieter, a little more careful. You notice things more like how someone's tone changes, or how long they take to respond, how quickly people disappear. And it's not paranoia, just experience. You start managing your expectations differently, not in a bitter way, just softer. You don't assume you'll keep people forever anymore. You're just grateful when they stay for a little while. Some people try to replace that feeling. They chase new friendships, new relationships, keep busy, keep moving. But for me, I think I've gotten comfortable in the quiet, not happy necessarily, but familiar with the stillness. Sometimes I wonder if this is just how it is now. Like, maybe we weren't meant to stay close forever. Maybe people aren't meant to blur with time. Faces fading into the background of your life. Voices you used to know by heart becoming static. And maybe that's not some tragic thing. Maybe it's just life moving forward, pulling you along, whether you're ready or not. But even in all that drifting, there's still a part of me that hopes. Hopes that there's someone out there who won't feel like a stranger, who will see through all the walls you've quietly built. Someone who feels like home, even when everything else is changing. And until then, you learn to sit with the quiet. You learn to stop forcing connections that aren't there. And you start finding comfort in the people who do stay. And even if it's just one or two people, even if it's just you sitting with a memory and letting it echo for a little bit longer before you let it go.